Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody has had a beautiful, wonderful day today. Welcome to Creating Real Estate Millionaire. That is, minority real estate millionaires is what we're creating. I want to start off by saying this is our Deep Dive Thursday. This is where the gloves come off. This is where we talk about the real deal. Holyfield. I think I got the wrong one up here. See, it's number 2. Hold on just a second, everybody. Sure I get the right thing going here. Stop sharing for a minute so you can see my beautiful face, and I'll come back. Bear with me. All right, here we are. We are ready to go. Deep dive. This is actually question number 5. I've got it. Number 2 here. Yes. So today we want to get into the quiz that we had on last week, but I always want to start off with my public service announcement that Black Lives Matter. Yeah, I know all lives matter, blue lives matter, white, green, yellow lives matter, but right now we're talking about Black Lives Matter because these are the ones that's being executed in the streets of the United States of America. So we're going to march, we're going to protest peacefully until we see change from systemic what we believe racism going on targeting young Black men in the United States of America. So we support Black Lives Matters, and we want to see things change. And so we are for a change. So let's talk about our quiz this week. So here are the assumptions. Make sure you guys are seeing that. Let me make sure we're sharing that. You guys see the assumptions?
I do not.
Hold on. Get back in here. You should see them now. We're good to go. See them now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so here we go. So here are the assumptions. I said on this particular quiz, we had 140K as the ARV. Purchase price was 110. I mean, that's what I'm buying it for. The bank is going to loan 80% of the ARV, 15 years at 4.75, 10K in repairs. Closing cost 1,500. Then we got the monthlies, so we can figure out net cash flows at 1,200, our vacancy rate, and our repairs. Has anybody got any questions on our assumptions before we get into? Let's figure out how we're going to solve this. Anybody got any questions? Okay, good. Let's go. So here are the answers at a high level, and I'm going to dig into each one of these individually as we go forward. So the MAO, which is the maximum allowable offer, was 102K. A lot of you got that right. The amount that's financed, that's where we struggled at. So I'm going to show you what that really looks like when we talk about the amount that we're going to be financing. The net cash flows was $12.72 a month. The NOI was 10,560. It was really 880 a month. If you multiply that times, change that, 880 is 10,560. So the rate of return on equity, which is return on investment, at this particular one was 0.019. So I want to go through detail on each one of those. I want you guys to stop me when you got a question on any one of those. So these are the 4 things that we're going to be solving for. So let's get into it. So let's talk about loan to value. Always typically 70-80% of whatever the ARV. That's usually what the banks will be loaning on. I think I've went over this before. In this particular quiz, 80% of the ARV of 140,000 would be 112, right? So that's how much the bank is going to be willing to loan me on this property. Any questions? Everybody good on the loan to value?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What's the question?
No, it's good to go. I'm interested in the next part.
All right, here we go. So maximum allowable offer. The maximum allowable offer is always the ARV less the repairs. It's going to give you your maximum allowable offer. So the ARV in this case was 140K. The repairs was 10K. And so the bank was willing to loan, again, 80% of 140. So we'll take the 112 the bank is willing to loan, less the 10%, the 10K in repairs will leave your maximum allowable offer on this property should have been 102K. Any questions?
I have one question on that. So why do you not also subtract out your closing and holding costs from your maximum allowable offer as well?
Because I'm going to finance it. You could do that, but in my equation, I always, and I think I've said this before, but the assumption is always you want to finance your closing costs. Now, I didn't even put in holding costs because that's a whole nother issue, but you can also put that holding cost in there. But a lot of times you don't know your holding costs. I mean, you got utilities, you got all kind of other stuff, and you don't know what those are. I mean, you can estimate them, but a lot of times you won't have that. So I don't include holding costs, and I always include closing costs as part of the financing. So in the future, if I give you guys closing costs, just know Mr. Ray wants you to include that in your financing. If you're financing 100,000, just add that closing costs in there. The bank will always finance closing costs. They will not finance repair costs. Does that make sense? Is that David that asked that?
Yes.
Okay. Does that make sense, David?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, let's go to the next one. So we got to figure out what the monthly mortgage was on this one. So we had 110. Let's go. Let me back up here. So the amount financed, if you look here, there was 2. So I didn't penalize you because this was a little bit confusing because you could have figured the amount financed 2 different ways. The first you could have said, okay, Ray, you said 140K, the bank will do 80%. So I know that should be 112 plus the $1,500 in closing. That should be my amount financed. If you got that, and that's okay. But what I was looking for was this answer, because I'm only going to be paying 110,000 for it, right? That's what the bank said that they'll give me, 110 plus my 15. So I said I'm really only going to be financing 111.5. So anybody got any questions on the amount financed?
Yeah, on that second one, how are you coming up with the 110,000? Where does that number come from?
Let's go back here. Hold on. The 110 is what I'm paid for. Now, remember I told you what the purchase price was? That's how much I negotiated this deal for, 110,000. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Back in the right here, purchase price is 110,000. You with me, David?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's where I got the 110. So I'm saying the bank's they're gonna finance it for the 110 plus the 1,500 in closing costs. They're not gonna finance the 10K in repairs. They'll never give you that repair money. They will give you your purchase price, and they'll also finance in the closing costs. So that's why the 111.5 is the amount that I'm looking at financing. And if you finance that over 15 years at 4.75, they give you the $867.28 for your payment. Everybody good? Let's go back to that. So 111.5 at 4.75 for 15 years is $867.28 is your monthly mortgage payment on that property. Any questions? Okay. So net operating income. Everybody got this one. I was fairly surprised. Everybody got this one. So you take your 1,200 rent. The net operating income is your gross rents less your expenses, but you don't include your mortgage or your debt service. So 1,200 is the rent, taxes and insurance, vacancy and all that good stuff. When you subtract it out, it's 880 a month. You take the 880 times 12 months, and you get to 10,560. Any questions? Yeah, everybody got that one pretty. So I'm pretty good. You guys are getting really good on this one. You're struggling a little bit on this one, but maybe that's because I'm not being clear enough on that. And everybody's doing really good on the maximum allowable offer. All right, so I'm proud that you're getting that. Net operating income, you're getting it, but the next one is where everybody's getting stuck at. And so we'll probably spend a little bit more time on that. But any more questions on net operating income before we move on? All right, here we go. So the net cash flows, this tripped a lot of you up too. So if you didn't get the amount financed right, you were not going to get the net cash flows right. So we assume what, $1,000 for rent. So if you take the P&I, the taxes, the insurance, the vacancy, the maintenance, you come up $12.72 a month as your net cash flow. Any questions?
Okay, so in the future, when there isn't a deposit, assume using
You mean
closing
down
costs.
payment?
Down payment.
Yeah.
Assume to use closing costs in place of down payment.
Say that again. Say again, Darren.
I got 817. You got 867. So in the future, use the closing costs when there is not a down payment. Is that what I'm saying? Is that right? To get to 867, because all my other numbers are correct besides the
867. Let's go back to that. 867. So you got to get the amount financed right here to get the 867, right? So you got to have the 110 plus 1,500. So you got to finance this 111.5 is your the amount finance. So what amount finance were you coming up with? The 13,113.5 or what?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, because some people can say, okay, yeah, that's probably it. That's fine. If you use that one, that's pretty close. But I was sticking to the 110 because that's what I paid for.
Okay. All right.
I'm okay with you using the, I mean, you're not going to be that far off. You're only $2,000 difference, right? Yeah. And your P&I is not going to be that far off. Okay, so anybody got any other questions on your net cash flow? So at first glance, you look at this property, man, that's not a good cash flow right there, Ray. Why are you even looking at that property? I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. I do have a question. Sorry, it's as far as the gross rent amount, you're going off of the purchase price for that, or
That's just a number I stuck in. I didn't use the 1% on this one.
oh, okay.
I just gave you what it was. So did I tell you 12 or 1,000? Hold on, let me look it up. I might transpose the number here in the actual. I think it was.
I got 12.
Yeah, 1,200. Hold on, let me look back right here real quick. I could have put it in here wrong. Yeah, I did. So it should be 1,200. So I think I had it right. See, I had it right here, and I didn't have it right in the other place. So it's 1,200 here, and it should have been. Yeah, it's 1,200. I just didn't put the. I just didn't change it from the last time, so it should be 1,200. It's 1,200 here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, it is 1,200. All right. What other questions we got on net cash flow? This is hold on. I will correct it. Stand corrected. Any other questions on net cash flow?
Could you go back to the monthly mortgage income slide?
Right here.
I don't see your screen right now.
Hold on. All right. You see it now?
See your screen, that's not the slide I was thinking though.
Is that the slide that you want to see?
Don't think so. I'm trying to think of which one it was.
Here, I'll back it up. You didn't see it?
Yeah.
Did you remember what your question was? Maybe I can go to it.
I was just trying to look at the numbers a little bit better so I could understand it a little bit more.
I can send you a copy of the slide if you like it.
That would work.
Okay, I'll do that. All right, what else? Net cash flows, everybody good?
Mr. Ray, I sent you a message. A message.
On the chat?
Yeah, just look at it at later time. I just sent you a message instead.
Oh, okay. I see it. Thank you, sir. I'll get that corrected. All right. Anybody? Anything else? All right. So here's the one we struggle with. And so I think part of the issue here is maybe I'm not presenting it properly what this return on investment is. So return on investment is your annual net cash flows. So whatever your net cash flows is times 12 divided by however much cash you have spent out of your pocket, right? Come out of your pocket, not what you finance, not anything else. So in this case, the purchase price was 110, and I had $10,000 in repairs for 120. All right. But remember, the bank will finance 80% of the 140. So the bank is going to give me 112. All the money out of my pocket is going to be 120, but the bank's going to give me all of that back when I finance this property. So really, I'm only going to have $8,000 of my own money invested in this, and this would have been hard for some of you guys to get to. So I think in the future, I use return on investment because it helps me when I'm comparing it to stocks and things like that. It may be confusing to you guys. So in the future, I may just ask for, what the maximum allowable offer is, what the net cash flows are, and what your net operating income. Because this one seems to confuse you a little bit. So we may talk about how I can change the actual question so you guys understand it better. But in this case, again, so all the money I'll have invested in this property will be $8,000. So if my net cash flows are $12.72 times 12, 152 a year divided by the 8 means I'm only going to be earning 1% or 2% on this particular property. So what are your questions on return on investment?
So right there, you've got the bank will finance 80%, which is 112. But I was thinking on the earlier slide, you said you were financing 111.5.
Because I'm paying 110 plus the 1,500 closing costs.
So
the bank is theoretically giving me all of that back, right? But the 8,000 is including the repairs, which the bank will not finance. So the 8,000 actually is what I'm going to have coming out of my pocket when this deal is all said and done.
Okay.
Is that confusing?
Well, I was just curious why you were using the 112 there, other than the 111.5, I guess. But
yeah, the only reason I'm using the 111.5. The 111.5 again was the amount that I was paying for the property, the $110K, and the $1,500 in closing costs. That's what I'm going to be financing. But when you talk about money that I got invested, I'm just using the 112 as the amount that the bank is willing to give me, right? So maybe you're getting that confused. 111 and 112, they're two different numbers. If
okay,
go ahead.
I think I found my confusion. Okay. So that's what I missed. So if you look at your equation for ROI, there's annual net cash flow, NCF, divided by total investment, cash money spent. But if you look at your calculation, it's times 12. So it's the 12.72 that you calculated times 12.
Yeah, get that 152.
So and then you do the 152, and that's how you
divided by what money I got invested. Yeah.
Right. So you don't worry about the monthly. You got to find out the yearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my annual return. I'm looking for my annual return on my money invested.
Now it makes sense. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Who else got some questions?
Hey, Mr. Ray, this is Tina. How are you?
Good. How are you, Tina?
I'm good. Okay, this is where I messed up. I was thinking that I would use the maximum allowable amount, because I'm thinking if I go higher, then I'm going to owe more at the end. So that's why I used 102 as my purchase price.
But remember, I gave you the purchase price.
Okay,
I wanted you to figure out what the maximum allowable offer was, because I wanted you to understand what that would be. But then I gave you the purchase price. I didn't say I was purchasing it for the maximum allowable offer. So maybe that was tricky. Maybe I tricked you up on that one. But
yeah, I just thought you tricked us a little.
I try to keep you guys honest. So yeah, I always want you to solve for maximum allowable offer, but you gotta look at my assumption. If I say, okay, the maximum offer is such and such, but really I'm only gonna pay this for it. So be key in on what I say my purchase price is.
Got it.
Okay. What else? So at the end of the day, the one thing I want to make sure you guys understand, the most important number that I want you to be able to do is this one right here, because this is going to determine whether or not you're going to make money on the deal. If you can get this number to show 200 plus, you'll be good. $200 a month plus. Oh, I did it. Misspelled that, didn't I? Yeah, $200 a month plus, then you're going to be doing good. Make sure you can get this net cash flow, right? Because that's going to be the key to you making money on buy and hold real estate. This is your key. Your cash flow is king. All right. If you want a copy of this actual presentation, just text me, say, Ray, I want a copy of this one, and I'll send it to you. All right, so now we're going to open it up to any and all questions. Before I do that, let's do this. Because I wanted to show you guys this property, right? So let's go here. All right, so this is the property I just closed on today. 1805 Ballard Drive. This property, you see the Zillow estimate says it's worth $79,000. That's how much it was sold for to the guy that I bought it from. So he had it on the market for 116. It was a wholesale deal on the market for 116,000. I purchased the property for 110,000. As you can see right here, all the houses in that area are selling for 140, 150 or above. So I'm well beneath what the ARV is going to be on this property. So I want to share with you here. See if we can do a quick. What time we got? We're running out of time. I may have time to show you here. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Hey, so Ray, whenever you do look at those comps that sold around, maybe it's a pretty good idea, like a close-knit area of where you're buying at, and you just use that to make your assumption.
Yeah, I do that for the most part, yes. So hold on here, people. About to get there. I should have had this one up ready to go for you, but I didn't. Well, yeah, there it is. Well, it didn't come over, so I have to show you guys next time. I actually had the walkthrough on that property, but I'll have to show you that next time. It didn't come over. So yeah, any questions? Any other questions I can answer for you guys? We got a few more minutes here. Any questions? All right, assuming all minds are clear. So the next quiz, again, I'll probably leave out the return on investment. Seems like that's tripping up a lot of folks, but I want to make sure you guys that you're getting the net cash flow. The monthly net cash flow is the key to making money and in this business, and you got to make sure you do a good job of estimating that. So with that being said, if there's nothing else, we'll sign off until Monday, and we'll come back in Monday with another subject matter. Everybody good?
Hey, Ray, before you go though,
Yeah.
just piggybacking on that, like I said, when you're getting your assumptions, are you going anywhere else to get them, or are you just using what's sold around, like from Zillow and stuff like that? Or are you actually going somewhere else and drilling down somewhere else to find out to also make sure you're fine tuning it?
So what I do, I look at Zillow, I look at Redfin, and I will look at the I'll look at the county and see what the county has as far as what the sales have been, and then I will look at any houses that are available for sale in the area. I will drive the neighborhood and see if there's any houses for sale, and I'll actually use those also. So at the end of the day, I'll probably have about 6 comps that I'll look at, and then from there I'll make a determination on which one of those I wanna go with.
Okay. And on average, about how long it take you to actually do that? As far as not the driving by, but just getting your
10 minutes.
About 10 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
I can look it over in 10 minutes. And if you want me to show you how to do that sometime, Eric, let's just set up a time. I can get on me and you just on Zoom, and we can just pick a house, and I'll show you how I'll come up with what the ARV is on that property. Again,
Okay.
it's an art. It's not an exact science. You just using averages. So yeah,
that sound good to me.
Yeah.
Is that Zestimate value always correct on Zillow?
No, it's not. So that's why you got to look. That's why I said you got to look at the county. Then I'll look at Redfin. Then I'll look at a whole bunch of them. And if Zillow's way out of line from the other ones, then I'll make that adjustment and throw Zillow out. Cause on this property right here that I was going to show you guys, it shows that this property on Ballard is only worth $79,000. Well, I know it's worth 140, 150,000 just based on what the properties are around it. In fact, if you look at Zillow says comparable properties in that area are 150,000 or more.
That was my question. Thank you.
Yeah. Good question. So yeah, when you look at Zillow, it looks like all these properties are 150 or more from comparable. It shows potential comparable houses 155. Yet when you look at the Zillow estimate, it says 79,000 because Zillow knows. I think Zillow, they send people out sometime. Maybe they see the house not repaired, so that's all it must be worth. So you can't always use the Zillow. All right, everybody? All right, we good? If you got any other questions, just hit me up personally. You guys have a great day.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.